Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jared, and today we are going to be taking a closer look at the Hogue Deka / conducting a full review. So this particular variant of the Hogue Deka is the Gen 2 with the warncliffe blade style, tip style, excuse me. And let's just do some quick size comparisons, because when I first got this knife, it was a little bit smaller than I thought that it was going to be. In fact, it was much smaller. So let's just do some size comparisons. So this is the PM2, the Para 3, and the Benchmade 940. So the Hogue Deka, and like I said earlier, this is the Gen 2. So the major differences, to my understanding, between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 are the Gen 1 has more standoffs in the middle here. So it has more screws for whatever reason, because I guess 3 standoffs isn't enough on a knife this size. And it also doesn't have a deep carry clip. I'm sure there's some other differences too, but I am unaware of them. And those are the only ones that I can visibly confirm. So we have a knife that weighs 2.3 ounces. We have a total length of 7.5 ounces, a hand length of 4 1/4, and a blade length of 3 1/4. Now the blade is very nice, 20 CV, and it is super slicey, guys. It is 94 thousandths of an inch blade stock thickness, which is just phenomenal. You combine that with the warncliffe tip, and we are looking at a very utilitarian knife, a very good box cutting or just any type of fine detail knife. This is going to be the one right here. Not to mention the 20 CV is, in my opinion, one of the best stainless steels that you can get. So we are featuring the Able lock, which is essentially Hogue's version of the Axis lock. I mean, they're actually identical. It's funny because when I first opened this up to acid etch and stone wash the blade and the pocket clip, it looks identical to the Benchmade 940 on the internals, where the liners are long and they sit nestled in between the scales. So it really is identical, even down to the pivot, which is really, really interesting. So let's see, the fit and finish on this knife. Oh, so the price of this knife. When I got this knife, it was around $130, $120. I got a really good deal on this knife. I bought it brand new for that price. So for that amount of money, $130 for 20 CV, I mean, I don't think you can really beat that in terms of value. So there's that. The fit and finish. Well, when I first got the knife, the fit and finish was perfect. I mean, it was absolutely flawless. I feel like this really isn't a knife that you can mess up the fit and finish on too much, in my opinion. I will say now, though, the fit and finish is a bit different, obviously because of the acid etch and stone wash blade that I did. But the thumb studs, however, are a completely different story. I'm really disappointed with these thumb studs. They had red Loctite on them for whatever reason. The body standoffs came out with no problem, absolutely none. But the thumb studs, of all the things on a knife that you would want to put red Loctite on, they were on these thumb studs. I even contacted Hogue about this, and I said, you know, how are we supposed to get these off? What are we to do? Like, is there a special tool that we need, or blah, blah, blah? And they were like, no, just send your knife on in and we'll replace the thumb studs. And I'm thinking to myself, man, like, in terms of aftermarket parts, customization, and putting our own little twist onto our knives, I would put the thumb studs, changing those out, in like the top 3 easiest, most user-friendly mods. Not with Hogue, not with this at least. And I was super disappointed about that because, I mean, as you can see, these are pretty chewed up. I had to really go at these to get them off and then to get them back on. But it is what it is, I suppose. So let's talk about the ergos with this. The ergonomics with this, I think, are very good. Aren't really too many hot spots. I like the jimping at the top of the blade right here. And another thing, speaking about the blade, this was very easy to sharpen. Like I said earlier, I'm a big fan of 20 CV steel, but there is a nice choil cut out right here, and it just makes sharpening the blade very simple. I thought that I was going to have some issues here with the compound grind. We're a little bit thicker back here than we are here, and I thought that that might be like an issue, but it really didn't make any difference. And this is very sharp. So the aesthetics, I think this knife looks great. I love the blue lava. I love the G10. This is very thick G10, by the way. Like, I can't, yeah, it's not moving. It's not going anywhere. And I like the way that the stonewash blade kind of matches. The acid edge stonewash blade matches kind of the grays and the black and the blues. It just looks, I think it looks nice. I also added some jimping in the back with a checkering file. I did that because the center of balance in this knife, I'm assuming, is like up here because the blade weighs more than the handle does, and I really don't like that. Yeah, see how it goes forward there at the point, like. Well, anyways, what that does is when I deploy the knife, the weight of the knife wants this to keep going, and with the way that I like to situate this type of knife in my hand, I needed something that was going to grip the pad of my hand like that, and it didn't have it, and I found myself dropping this a lot just by not even flicking it out hard, but just under basic operating conditions. So I just added a bit of jimping down there, and that really made a good difference, I would say. So it carries very well. Very well. This is like the perfect the perfect knife for basketball shorts. You just don't notice it. It's only 2.3 ounces. That is super light. I think this is around the same weight as a Para 3 lightweight. I mean, it's just ridiculously light. And you got to think about it. So the Para 3 lightweight is FRN, right? We have G10. So my opinion on this knife is just meh. It's meh. On paper, this has everything. It's got value, right? It's got the cutting performance, the sliciness that I look for. It's got an excellent tip for the types of EDC tasks that I like to do. It carries well. It performs even better, in my opinion. And it looks great. But it just doesn't have that it factor for me. When I see this knife sitting on my shelf of all the knives that I want to carry, and when I'm picking it out for the day, I find myself not even looking at this, not even seeing this, which is interesting because it's like I said, it's 20 CV, right? It's a very good lock. It operates pretty well. It looks cool. It feels nice, and it performs well. So you would think that it would be something that I would want to pick. It's not. I just find myself choosing something else. This knife to me just doesn't really, it doesn't sing to me, you know? We all have those, and I know that's not like an objective reason to dislike the knife. So on paper, this is a phenomenal knife, but for me personally, it just, it's got to go. It's got to go. So that is my review for the Hogue Deka. Thanks for checking it out, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.